The Tale of Remy the Rat. A Journey from the Sewers to the Stars. My name is Remy, and yes, I am a rat. But I'm not just any rat. While my family scurries around looking for scraps, dodging humans, and hiding in the shadows, I have a different calling. You see, from a young age, I've always had an extraordinary sense of smell and taste. So much so that I can detect subtle differences in food that others would miss. This gift, combined with my love for all things culinary, led me to a dream that most would find absurd for a rat. I wanted to become a chef. I grew up in the French countryside, nestled under the roof of an old woman who cooked every day. She never knew it, but she was my first teacher. As I dodged her broom and her shotgun, I learned about the art of cooking. My hero, however, was the late, great chef Auguste Gusteau, who famously said anyone can cook. His words became my mantra. If anyone could cook, why not me? But as much as I loved food, my family, led by my father Django, was more interested in survival than in culinary dreams. My brother, Emile, was my best friend, though he couldn't quite understand my passion. To him, food was food, a way to fill the stomach. But to me, food was magic, a way to create and connect. One fateful day, my obsession with good food led me to a dangerous mission, sneaking into the old woman's kitchen to find fresh ingredients. Unfortunately, my quest didn't go unnoticed. The woman discovered me and, in her panic, not only tried to kill me but accidentally exposed our entire rat colony. The walls came crashing down, and chaos ensued as my family fled through the sewers. I was separated from everyone in the rush, and for a time I was completely alone, lost beneath the bustling city of Paris. But fate has a funny way of working. As I floated along the currents of the sewer, I found myself drawn toward a light, both literally and figuratively. I followed the delicious smells that wafted through the grates until I finally surfaced. There, right in front of me, stood Gusteau's restaurant, once the pride of Paris, now a shadow of its former self since the great chef's passing. It was as if destiny had brought me there. I knew I had to go inside Gusteau's kitchen. I watched in awe as the chefs prepared their dishes. Each one moved with precision and purpose, creating art with their hands. But there was one person who didn't seem to belong, the clumsy young garbage boy named Linguini. He had no idea what he was doing and accidentally knocked over a pot of soup, ruining it. Seeing an opportunity to finally put my skills to the test, I snuck into the kitchen and began to fix the soup. I added a pinch of this, a dash of that, all while staying hidden from the frantic cooks. By the time Linguini realized what was happening, the soup was already simmering to perfection. But my moment of triumph was cut short when Linguini spotted me. He was about to scream, but then something miraculous happened. The head chef, Skinner, tasted the soup and loved it. In a twist of fate, Linguini was credited with saving the soup, and to avoid being caught, he took me home with him. I convinced him that we could work together. I would cook, and he would take the credit. But how could a rat and a human possibly work together in a busy kitchen? The answer was as ridiculous as it was brilliant. I would hide under his chef's hat and control his movements by tugging on his hair like a puppeteer. We were an unlikely pair, but somehow it worked. Each day, I taught Linguini how to cook, and each day the dishes became more extraordinary. The restaurant's reputation began to improve, and soon people were talking about the mysterious new talent in the kitchen. However, not everything was as smooth as a bechamel sauce. Chef Skinner, suspicious of Linguini's sudden success, began to investigate. He discovered that Linguini was the rightful heir to Gusteau's restaurant, a secret that had been kept hidden. If revealed, it would mean the end of Skinner's control over the restaurant, and he wasn't about to let that happen. At the same time, I faced my own challenges. My family found me in Paris, and my father was furious that I was living with humans, risking my life for a dream he believed was impossible. He reminded me of the dangers we faced every day, how humans saw us as nothing more than pests. But I couldn't give up on my dream. I knew I had something special, something that could change the way people thought about food, and maybe even about rats. As if things weren't complicated enough, the toughest food critic in Paris, Anton Ego, announced he would be dining at Gusteau's. Ego was infamous for his harsh reviews, and a bad one from him could close the restaurant for good. The night of Ego's visit was one of the most stressful of my life. The kitchen was in chaos. Skinner was on the verge of discovering my secret, and Linguini was a nervous wreck. But then, something amazing happened. As I searched for the perfect dish to serve Ego, I remembered a simple, rustic dish from my childhood: ratatouille. It was a humble peasant dish, but I knew it had the power to stir the soul. With precision and care, I crafted the dish, layering the vegetables in a beautiful spiral, seasoning it just right, and cooking it to perfection. As I prepared it, I felt a sense of peace and purpose. This was why I loved cooking, to create something that could make people feel, remember, and connect. When the dish was finally served to Ego, the entire kitchen held its breath. He took a bite, and in that moment, the impossible happened. The taste of the ratatouille transported him back to his childhood, to a time when his mother made him the same dish with love and care. For the first time in years, Anton Ego smiled. Ego's review was a masterpiece in itself. He praised the restaurant not for its grandeur, but for its honesty and heart. He wrote that Gusteau's had returned to its roots and rediscovered the joy of cooking. It was the greatest triumph we could have hoped for. But our secret couldn't stay hidden forever. Eventually, the truth came out. Linguini confessed that it was me, a rat, who had been the real chef all along. The revelation shocked everyone, and for a moment, it seemed like our dream would come crashing down. But something incredible happened. Despite the initial shock, Ego supported us. He believed in the power of the food we created and in the spirit of Gusteau's philosophy: anyone can cook. With his help, we opened a new restaurant, Asterisk La Ratatouille Asterisk, where I could cook freely without hiding. It was a place where people from all walks of life could come together to enjoy good food, prepared with love and passion. My family joined me in this new venture, finally understanding that my dream wasn't just about cooking. It was about bringing people together, breaking down barriers, and proving that greatness can come from the most unexpected places. And so, I, Remy the Rat, became the chef I always dreamed of being. I found my place in the world, not by hiding who I was, but by embracing it. In the end, the most important lesson I learned was this: it's not about who you are on the outside, but about what you have inside, your passion, your dreams, and your heart. And that, my friends, is the story of how a rat became a chef in the most beautiful city in the world.